They're exactly on time.
Ever since we started using Fleetmatics to keep track of our trucks and vans, our business has been running really smoothly.
Are you telling me you've cut your fuel costs?
The boss doesn't have anything to yell about anymore, but some habits are hard to break.
Oh, great. Another call from a happy customer.
Fleetmatics takes the drama out of business. Make fleet tracking more intelligent with real-time tracking, fuel monitoring, and more. Visit fleetmatics.com/start or call 1-877-350-DEMO for intelligence at work.
Ford technicians really know tires. After all, they sell one every 4 seconds.
Have your tires inspected during the big tire event going on at your Ford dealer. You'll even get up to $120 in mail-in rebates on select tires when you use the Ford Service Credit Card. Subject to credit approval. Rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service Credit Card rebate or offer. See a participating Ford dealer for details through 5/31/14.
Fink's Car Care, with locations in Chesapeake and Portsmouth, is your dedicated Tire Stars dealer. At Fink's, their experienced staff specializes in brakes, steering, suspension, tune-ups, oil changes, and much more. They also handle rebuilt engines and transmissions, and they're your destination for tires, rims, and towing as well. Fink's is located at 2236 South Military Highway at 2711 Victory Boulevard. For more information, log on to finkscarcare.com or call 545-3573.
Be seeking rare and valuable coins? Storm the castle, matey. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake, that is. Silver and gold coins, U.S. coins with free verbal offers, and they always be on the lookout for those rare U.S. coins. Set sail for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, Tuesday through Saturday, and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Chesapeake, Virginia, 1650 AM WHKT presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick and at GJBTV.com. Now here is Greg Bickaveris.
And thank you very much, Ken Johnson, on this beautiful May 7th, day after Election Day here in Hampton Roads. Greg Bickaveris along with you right here with Ken Johnson on this day in Hampton Roads. Sports Scene interview show each Wednesday. Mark it down live, noon to 1. Also sports highlights on nnpstv.com. Your home for CBS News. Glenn Beck and Laura Ingram, as well as tell your friends about 1650. Find them on Facebook and Twitter. Find me on Twitter at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV. Thank you to our military. Interesting story about that coming up in a few moments as well. Great guest lineup as well. Sonny Dirt from the Daily Press has been with me since 1988 as a guest on radio and TV. Also some other great business spotlights. And of course our guest lineup presented by Newcastle Coins and Collectibles. Our phone line presented by Old Town Tavern in Hampton. Want to welcome Newport News Greek Festival. They're on until June 1st. Also our good friends at Battlefield Guns and Ammo as well. GJBTV.com. That's GJBTV.com for your marketplace sponsors. Of course, on the homepage, your marketplace sponsors 1, 2, and 3. If you want to call, save the number 454-1650, 454-1650. A lot to talk about today right here on Sports Scene on News Talk 1650. At Greg Bick on Twitter. Of course, stay tuned.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your home, your business, and quality of life provide peace of mind. Your security can be enhanced with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. Never take anything for granted, whether you're at home or away. Call 757-410-7720, log on to battlefield-guns.com, and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Mark your calendar for May 29th to June 1st as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, Greek dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, vendors, and much more. The Newport News Greek Festival is located on 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more information, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival, May 29th to June 1st.
Opa!
All right, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. This is Sports Scene. Greg Bicaveras, glad you're with us. Don't forget gjbtv.com. Click the YouTube link for past archive shows, also some on gjbtv.com. Sports Scene is the show I've done for several years, and of course right here on News Talk 1650 since last December. Of course, we brought Sports Talk Radio to relevancy when it was Red Zebra, of course, for 6.5 years. Our special in-studio guest today is Sonny Derth, right here on the radio, right here with me. Sonny from the Daily Press, dailypress.com, has been a guest with me on radio and TV, locally, regionally, and nationally since 1988. Sonny, welcome.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Great to be here.
Great topics to talk about, Sonny. First of all, let's start off with the NFL draft. Of course, Houston, St. Louis, Jacksonville, Cleveland, Oakland are on the clock.
It's going to be very interesting tomorrow night with that draft going on. I don't believe anything these teams are saying until we actually hear picks. I'm not going to be convinced. There's so much intrigue out there between Jadeveon Clowney and Johnny Manziel, and teams who need quarterbacks and teams who don't.
Absolutely. As you know, with Sonny, over the years, we talk about a myriad of topics. So we're going to primarily talk about the draft, the NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, golf, tennis, hockey. We will talk it all right here up until 1 o'clock. Some business spotlights coming up after 12:30 right here on News Talk 1650. Greg Bicaveras, Ken Johnson, Sonny Derth, glad you're with us. For more, log on to gjbtv.com. And, of course, a lot has been made up of Manziel and Clowney both.
Well, they're certainly two of the most polarizing figures you've ever seen. Johnny Manziel just captured the spotlight in 2012, winning the Heisman Trophy, and then had an excellent season in 2013. In between, he got in some trouble because of his autograph signing. And, you know, he's a little cocky out there, but that's certainly interesting to see. Clowney, outstanding player for the South Carolina Gamecocks, and Steve Spurrier. Some people wondered if he was playing his hardest for most of last year, but he certainly has been impressive when he's put it together. His hit against Michigan in the bowl game a season ago, just absolutely ridiculous, unforgettable play.
I made a mention on Twitter, a reference to that, meaning that I'm not a big fan of the draft until I see the 53-man roster. Do I find anything relevant? A lot of things can happen: injuries, academics, hardship. You know, so many players get hurt. So many players balloon with their weight. That's a big, big issue with general managers.
Yeah, and if you come into a job interview, if you will, at these combines, and you fail a drug test or you're way out of shape, that doesn't bode well, because you know that interview's coming. You have time to prepare for it. There's just no excuse not to.
Absolutely. Talking a little bit of football, basketball, baseball, golf, tennis, hockey today, a myriad of topics. In-studio guest, live and local right here, Sonny Derth. With me, Greg Bicaveras, right here up until 1 o'clock. You're home for CBS News. This is Sports Scene right here on News Talk 1650. Well, the NBA draft, of course, is coming up as well later on this summer. But, of course, the playoffs really, really looking good right now. You got Miami 1-0 over Brooklyn. Of course, San Antonio 1-0 over Portland. The Wizards 1-0 over Indiana. And, of course, the Clippers 1-0 over OKC. And, of course, OKC got the MVP, but the Clippers got the lead. And looked like Durant might be a little distracted because OKC was favored. They did not play well in that game a few nights ago.
I'll tell you what, the second round of the playoffs is having a hard time living up to the first round, which maybe was the best round of NBA playoffs I can ever remember. 7-game series, a buzzer beater by Damian Lillard. Just fantastic stuff. And 2 key games coming up for the teams at home that trail by a game. That's referring to the Indiana Pacers against the Wizards and the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Clippers. In that first L.A. game, Chris Paul was as good as I've ever seen him, and I remember him even back before he went to Wake Forest.
And Rick Barnes, who I've not been a big fan of, he did coach at George Mason one year I was there. He had Durant at Texas, so he deserves a lot of credit for that 1 year. And, of course, he also played, for the Supersonics before OKC.
Durant is maybe the best big man shooter of all time, along with Dirk Nowitzki and Larry Bird, and he's really going to have to be aggressive, I think, for the rest of the series. He's going to have to look to eat first, as it was described.
And, of course, if you want to chime in live and local today, 454-1650. You can dial it on up, 454-1650 to get your opinion heard right here on News Talk 1650. That's 454-1650 to be on the radio. Of course, and you talk about the Wizards too, Sonny, as well. I mean, the fact that they're playing in the postseason, making it count, beating the Bulls, now doing very well against Indy.
This has been really good to see for Washington fans who have had to wonder if the Bullets/Wizards would ever be good again. A couple guys I met years ago were all-time greats with the Bullets. I met Wes Unseld in the Richmond Coliseum, and I met Bobby Dandridge at a tennis tournament. And I was starting to wonder if they'd ever win more than 40 games in a year again. But this team has really coalesced around Bradley Beal and John Wall, and Randy Whitman's been an excellent coach for them. And they have a great chance at least to get to where they're playing the Miami Heat. And who knows, if they get to that point, they could be a dangerous underdog.
Yeah, over the years I've seen them play Cleveland with you. We saw LeBron play his rookie year. We've seen Philadelphia, the Clippers, Houston, Utah, Indy over the years. Really a great place to see him at the Verizon Center. Before that, the Cap Center. But really excellent job by the Wizards. Really, nobody's talking about them, but to beat a savvy team like the Bulls, and now Indy, who's been much maligned, and they're calling Roy Hibbert, has almost been in hibernation. I'll say this seems like he's got a little bit of some learning issues against playing some tougher big men. It might not be all physical. I think it's a lot emotional right now. Hibbert's been so criticized, Sonny, it's starting to affect his play.
And he seems to be the very definition of the word ponderous, which applies to a lot of big men. Former Georgetown player, a guy who's very familiar with Washington, D.C., but right now, the Wizards just seem to have a lot more confidence, and that all stems from John Wall. We ran a story in the Daily Press, I believe was done originally by the Washington Post, and it said that Wall has the highest time of possession in the NBA and that he's responsible for points and assists in combination, maybe more than anybody else in the game.
Mm-hmm. This is Sports Scene right here, live right here on News Talk 1650, 1218 on this beautiful Wednesday, May 7th. Remember, folks, Talk Radio, we talk all types of 24/7 topics. This is your home for the Admirals, where you can actually hear the signal 10,000 watts on the South Side Peninsula, and also tunein.com. Type in WHKT 1650. On this station, they carry talk radio, news talk, sports talk, religion, Admirals. They even have some music on the weekends a little bit, and of course a show for pets on Sunday too. So really, this encompasses all of talk radio.
Indeed it does. I definitely know some people who would like that dog show.
Absolutely. All right, talking to Sonny Dirt from the Daily Press. Sonny, go ahead and give us your Twitter.
It's twitter.com/sdirth. S is in Steve, D is in David, and just like the planet Earth.
And, of course, chiming on in today right here as well, News Talk 1650. Greg Bickaveris, glad you're with us. All right, baseball so far, it's still early, Sonny, but it seems like most teams are a little bit above 500. They're not really getting their stride yet. It's still early, still cold in several cities. The attendance has been very low. Of course, prices don't help with that. Just look in the tri-state area of New York. But it seems like whether it's the Yankees or the Orioles right there, Nationals and the Braves, but it seems like that's pretty much, the Tigers the way it is in baseball so far?
No, it's too early to draw any huge conclusions. They're barely more than a sixth into the year. The biggest surprise on the good side to me has been the Milwaukee Brewers. I wasn't expecting them to be very good at all, and they're well over 500. They have the best record, at least in the National League, and I think in all of baseball. And a lot of those teams are just treading water a little above 500. I'm a Braves fan, so I was happy to see them in their 7-game skid last night. But I think it'll be a good summer for some good entertainment there.
Very good. Talking to Sonny Dirth right here, live and local. This is Sports Scene every Wednesday. Mark it down, save the date. Right here, 12 to 1, right here. Greg Bicoveris on News Talk 1650 WHKT, as well with Ken Johnson, too. We're going to talk a little golf right here and then take a short break, come back with Sonny. Of course, the big news has been Tiger is not playing, of course, lately. Didn't play in the Masters. But we have a big event coming up in Kingsmill and Williamsburg later this month.
Yeah.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner. A local place in every sense of the word, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers in a basket, crab cakes, salads, appetizers, and much, much more. Open 7 days a week, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, in a spacious and pleasant atmosphere. They have daily lunch specials, live music, and entertainment. Find Old Town Tavern on Facebook and visit them at 31 East Mellon Street in the Phoebus section of Hampton, with plenty of great parking in the back. Call 251-2636. That's 251-2636. Serving seafood, sandwiches, salads, wings. You can't beat Old Town Tavern. Bringing good food and great people together in the Old Town of Phoebus. Old Town Tavern in Phoebus, the locals' choice.
All right, back live right here. A little commercial sponsor right there. Sometimes the computers jump the way. But anyway,
and sometimes the producer just gets a little overzealous.
Well, what you have to deal with in the morning, I totally understand, Ken. You're forgiven. Anyways, of course, this is Sports Scene every Wednesday, noon to 1, right here on News Talk 1650, live and local. The phone numbers here are 454-1650, complete reset. Got Sonny Dirth in with me in the studio, right here from the Daily Press. Sonny, always a pleasure. And we've so far talked about football, basketball, baseball. The big event in Kingsmill, the LPGA is not as popular as the PGA, but around here it seems like it is.
Oh, the atmosphere in Williamsburg is fantastic. It'll be the Kingsmill Championship coming up. Just about every great women's golfer in the world will be there. Some of the great storylines going in are revolving around New Zealand's Lydia Ko, who's coming off a tournament victory, Inbee Park, who had a fantastic 2013, American Stacey Lewis has come back to number 2 in the world, and Michelle Wie, after years of hype, is starting to really come into her own as a player. And there's just such a great lineup. Paula Creamer, whose cousin goes to high school in Chesapeake and plays tennis, she'll be there in pink and playing well.
Absolutely, of course. And, it's always something good to talk about, too. And then, of course, tennis, the French Open is right around the corner.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if Serena Williams can maintain her dominance on the women's side, and to see if Rafael Nadal, again, can vanquish all of his opponents. Roger Federer's wife has had twins. That's going to be fun. And you also wonder if Novak Djokovic will come back healthy given his wrist problems.
Talking to Sonny Dirth right here. This is Greg Bicoveris. This is Sports Scene live right here, about 12:23 on News Talk 1650. You can always, folks, find it on TuneIn.com. And I tweeted that too. Just when you have technical difficulties sometimes with the weather, sometimes weather can wreak havoc on towers and transmitters. We'll get to more of that a little bit later. They can always find it on TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT 1650. You can listen on your phone. Don't be shy as well. We always take interaction at Greg Bick on Twitter, at Sports Highlight, at GJBTV, right here live on the radio. Sonny, and you talk about tennis. Give us a prep update on the peninsula and the south side as far as spring sports.
Well, I tell you what, I think the best team so far, the one that's impressed me in anything, is the Woodside baseball team out in West Newport News. The Wolverines are 16-0, and they have 2 victories over a Western Branch team that has 7 future Division I players. That's been the thing that's impressed me the most. And the biggest thing coming up is we're going to have a postseason quite unlike we've ever seen before. Think of the splits in AAA, AA, and Single A. Some of those unusual matchups you saw, with Richmond City teams playing Valley teams, and teams in Yorktown like Grafton playing Southampton Road Schools. It's going to be interesting and definitely different.
Talking to Sonny DeEarth right here. This is Greg Bicoveris. This is Sports Scene. Ken Johnson producing right here up until 1 o'clock. You're home for CBS News, Glenn Beck and Laura Ingram. We're going to have a little fun with Sonny as well. We're going to get to what teased me off when I tell Ken to get to it in a few moments. We're going to get to that early today and have a lot of fun with that and stay on for as well. I want to thank everybody that participated in the Dr. Mary V. Bicoveris Memorial Tennis Tournament, which took place on April 16th. It's running on TV and Newport News, on Cox Cable 47 and 517 on Fridays at 7 o'clock, weekends at 1 o'clock. You can watch it webcast at those times at nnpstv.com. Of course, it's also on gjbtv.com. Just go to the tennis tournament section, and you'll see more about the tennis event as well. So really a great event. It was showcased on TV, been on TV 6 times, on the radio 9 times. Not just that event. I'm talking tennis in general on radio and TV. Sonny, you remember one specific match we did with Connors and Mansour Barami where Connors won. Still remember it, 6-3, 6-3. And I look back at that event I did in Richmond, probably as one of the biggest broadcasting moments I've ever done on the radio, on a different radio station. But the fact that Connors was playing in Richmond, of course, in 1999, not that long ago, was truly a special event. And I'm so glad we did that match.
Yeah, indeed. So, Jimmy Connors is one of the most popular figures in U.S. tennis. His run at the U.S. Open late in his career will never be forgotten. Early in his career, he was rather hated by a lot of people in the early to mid-'70s. And meanwhile, the other guy who you probably haven't heard of, Mansour Barami, was limited in the amount he could play because of the political situation in Iran. But Mansour is one of the greatest shot makers of all time. He can do stuff with a tennis ball that I've never seen anybody else able to do.
And including he could hold several at the same time in one hand.
Yeah, exactly. He could hit backspin shots that bounced on his opponent's side and then came back over. He could hit absolutely ridiculous spin, and his hands were huge. He could hold 5 or 6 balls in one hand, I think.
Absolutely, too. Of course, you can text the show at 757-291-4234. That's 757-291-4234. Who do you think will be the first pick in the NFL draft? Go ahead and text us at 757-291-4234. Will it be Manziel? Will it be Clowney? Who do you think? 757-291-4234. And, of course, a lot going on. The NBA playoffs, we said, baseball, golf is heating up, the U.S. Open not that far along. And, of course, the Kentucky Derby was a great event, too.
Yeah, you saw California Chrome, a great story, maybe a future movie, live up to his favorites' billing. Looked like he won the Derby fairly comfortably, and all eyes will be on him as we go to Pimlico for the Preakness.
And don't forget high school football action, 24th year on nnpstv.com this fall as well. Look forward to that. And, of course, the Preakness is always a great event. I said one of the great events my dad and I went to. We last went together in 99. I worked it for NBC, which you can see on my website back in 07. But really, truly a great event, a Mid-Atlantic event nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a great day for fun in Maryland, and it's one of those things that the Belmont Stakes people are really looking at the Preakness, and you'd think they'll be rooting for whoever won the Derby, in this case California Chrome, a rare successful racehorse from Southern California.
And text us right now, 291-4234. That's 291-4234. Who will be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft? Truly an event. I want to get Sonny's thoughts here as well in just a moment. We'll take a short break coming up here for CBS News in just a few moments as well, but it's always a lot of fun to have Sonny in the studio with us, of course, with his time, his talent, and his treasure as well. For more, go to dailypress.com. I always like to call it Dearth Down the Line for your online column. Talk about that as well, because you put your blog, you put the TV radio log on there as well.
No, I just I'm a tennis player, so I called it Down the Line. That's the blog I have. It mostly has TV and radio updates and also some notes around the tennis world. For example, Maureen Slattery of Newport News, she's a freshman at the University of Denver, and she led her team to the Summit League Championship, and they're going to the NCAA tournament.
All right, Ken Johnson, take it away, my friend. We'll come back with Sonny with what tees me off after the extended break right here. Of course, Texas at 291-4234. Who will be the number one pick in the NFL draft? Ken Johnson. This is Sports Scene up until 1 o'clock.
They've restrained my hand, so I can't play with the buttons anymore, which is probably a good thing. A little dangerous in here. All right, I got some road work going on today in a couple of locations. 64 East and Norfolk up around Tidewater Drive. Left lane is blocked off there. Also at the Berkeley Bridge, of all places, 264 eastbound, they've got that Berkeley Bridge left lane blocked off for some maintenance work going on. 5:15 scheduled opening for the James River Bridge this afternoon and tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, so you got at least a few minutes to plan for it. 9 a.m. scheduled opening tomorrow morning at the Coleman Bridge on 17 between Gloucester and York. Well, we got some warm weather coming our way, at least for tomorrow. Clearing skies for this afternoon, 68 degrees. Some clouds coming our way tonight, a low of 61. Then tomorrow you're going to have to break out the shorts and the Ray-Bans. It's going to be sunny and warm, 85 degrees tomorrow. Friday, partly cloudy skies, a little more seasonal for May and Tidewater, 78 degrees, partly cloudy. Saturday, 81. Can't go a weekend without at least a little rain, so that means Sunday is going to have some scattered thunderstorms, a high of 76. Those will linger on through until Monday of next week with a high of 77 on that day, and then Tuesday, cloudy skies and a high of 74 degrees. Coming up at 1 o'clock, Remnant Radio. At 3 o'clock, it's Glenn Beck. At 6, it's Mark Levin. And at 9 o'clock, it's Dennis Prager with Prager University. CBS News is next with an update. And then stay tuned for more of Greg Bicaveras and Sports Scene on K-Talk 1650. Sports, entertainment, and all kind of great stuff. It's 12:31 on K-Talk 1650.
CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan. Federal authorities have cracked down on synthetic drug operations in 25 states, making arrests, raiding warehouses and gas stations.
They're manufacturing 200 to 300 different kinds of drug derivatives from 8 different structural classes.
These are synthetic drugs known by several names, including Molly and Spice, says DEA spokesman Rusty Payne.
All manufactured in China, imported in the United States for no other reason than to get people high. We're basically the guinea pigs.
And Payne says sales of these drugs generate big money, some of it ending up in Yemen, Syria, and Lebanon.
The markup profit potential is incredible, and then we're seeing proceeds here making their way back into these Middle Eastern countries. I know of a single shop in Alabama that has sent $30 to $40 million back to Yemen.
The DEA has warned that drug traffickers in this country are often, in one official's words, joined at the hip with terror networks. CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
Old Town Tavern, in the heart of Phoebus, is your place for a great lunch and dinner. A local place in every sense of the word, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers in a basket, crab cakes, salads, appetizers, and much, much more. Open 7 days a week, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, in a spacious and pleasant atmosphere. They have daily lunch specials, live music, and entertainment. Find Old Town Tavern on Facebook and visit them at 31 East Mellon Street in the Phoebus section of Hampton, with plenty of great parking in the back. Call 251-2636. That's 251-2636. Serving seafood, sandwiches, salads, wings. You can't beat Old Town Tavern. Bringing good food and great people together in the Old Town of Phoebus. Old Town Tavern in Phoebus, the locals' choice.
The place to go for U.S. rare coins is Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake. They specialize in U.S. and silver and gold coins and provide free verbal offers and are always buying U.S. rare coins. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, open Tuesday through Saturday and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Fink's Car Care is your place for all of your automotive needs. They handle state inspections, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, transmission service, radiator repair. They have a wide variety of tires, and when it comes to your car, they do it all. Visit their 2 locations at 2711 Victory Boulevard in Portsmouth and 2236 South Military Highway in Chesapeake. For more, log on to FinksCarCare.com and call 545-3573.
Mark your calendar for May 29th to June 1st as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, Greek dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, vendors, and much more. The Newport News Greek Festival is located on 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more information, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival May 29th to June 1st.
But first, let me take a selfie.
Let me take a selfie. And that's a perfect thing for what teased me off. Ken, you got to hear that forever since you played the commercial in between our show, my friend. But anyway, it just, no matter where you go, let's go ahead and get to it now, Ken. Let's go ahead. What teased me off? In just a few moments here. Also, congratulations to Hank for winning the fishing pass to Lynn Haven recently as well.
What tees you off? Presented by GJBTV.com.
And, of course, all of y'all can chime in on this as well, of course. And we're doing this a little early because Sonny is here. I'm going to do one, and of course, and keep going. And y'all can input as well. Ken, chatting while driving. One thing, we all talk on the phone when we drive. That's fine. But don't get in one lane in the left lane and look like you're on the sofa as well. Kind of like do both, but do it consistently and do it safely.
Well, if you have to talk on the phone, and unless you have to, I mean, if you're just chatting about what you did for lunch, come on, give me a break. If it's something you're checking on your child or it's an important call, business call or something, okay, if you can't pull over, do it. But if you're just sitting there schmoozing, and I see this all the time in checkout lines in grocery stores, in restaurants, the waiter comes over and they're too busy talking on the phone. Come on. That is so rude and dangerous if you're on the road.
Now, my phone's blowing up here with a text, of course, 291-4234. That's 291-4234, of course, for who do you think is going to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. The phone number here, what tees you off, 454-1650. That's 454-1650 is the number. Ken, I was at a department store yesterday at the checkout line, ready to check out, and the clerk got a phone call about a product in the store.
And they took that call first, right?
Yeah, well, while they're trying to wrap it up, and I finally told the manager I do want to leave here at a certain time.
Always take your live customers first. The people on the phone have a little button that's called hold.
Yeah, this is what teased me off. Ken, Newport News said no to nepotism yesterday. Let me tell you why. Michael Vick's aunt is on the Newport News City Council. She does a really good job, but her daughter also ran. Now, how awkward would that have been? 7 seats. Phones are lighting up, 454-1650. 7 seats to have a mother and daughter. Sonny, that would have been awkward regardless.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. A lot of those races were pretty hotly contested. Certainly not negative, but there was a very, very interesting degree. No lopsided races as there were in so many places yesterday.
Absolutely. Your thoughts about that, too, as well, Ken. The Vick girl was already on city council. Then her daughter would have won. Then it would have been mom and daughter both.
The Vick family has been so damaged by what Michael has done. By the way, I guess you heard he got mauled by a pit bull.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
one.
Michael Vick actually got bitten by a pit bull. Is that karma or what?
Yeah.
But the family is so damaged, they would do themselves, and I think everybody else, a great service by just very quietly, calmly going away.
Yeah, because no matter, he's turned his life around, but nobody, would have him ever endorsing any product. Sonny, you know this firsthand. Your mother loves cats, so you can imagine just the equal amount of people that enjoy their dogs as well.
Oh, certainly. Gosh, I know so many dog lovers, especially in the tennis world now. And, that may have been very issue-filled, but I'll say this. I made a prediction 20 years ago that's turned out to be true. A guy I used to play tennis with, an older gentleman I looked up to, is my dentist. And I remember telling him one day, you're such a good leader. One day I think you'd be a pretty good mayor. And his name's McKinley Price. And he had no competition yesterday.
Yeah.
He easily would have beaten any opponent, I would think. And he's still the mayor.
Absolutely. Does a really good job as well. And, of course, let's welcome Hank. The phone number here is 454-1650, 454-1650. What's up, Hanky?
Hey, Greg, what's going on, man? I just want to let you know you're doing an absolutely fantastic job. One of the things that ticks me off is the lack of sports talk radio in this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ever since we left the game, we would get, the phones would light up. We would get great guests for 6.5 years. Yours truly was there. You were part of that for all 6.5 years. You're exactly right. We try to do that once a week here. We got the Admirals. There's still remnants left, Hank, but you're exactly right.
Yeah, it's killing me, man. I don't get to voice my opinion, and people like you, who allow people a platform are definitely missed in this area.
I appreciate it, my friend. What teased you off today, Hank?
What teased me off is after the stuff went down with Donald Sterling, and obviously the man has to go. I get all that. But why is Doc Rivers being hailed such a hero? Didn't he abandon the Boston Celtics because he knew they weren't going to be a very good team?
Yeah.
I hear all this talk about what a great leader he is and all that. He to me, I have no respect for a man who can't go through hard times.
Yeah, we all go through hard times. That's exactly right, Hank. And I appreciate the phone call there, Ken, as well. Excellent point right there. What people are going to have, that's a polarizing topic. And, of course, Donald Sterling, in my opinion, is pathetic. But he should never be involved in the NBA. I totally agree with the commissioner. But it's a polarizing topic regardless.
Oh, no question. Perhaps the privacy issue is one thing. But if it got Donald Sterling out of the NBA, perhaps in this case it's very warranted because this is a guy you don't want representing your organization. Now, as for Doc Rivers, I'm not really sure exactly what his contractual situation was, but I've always found him to be a pretty good leader, and it gave a good opportunity for Brad Stevens to have his first NBA chance.
And I kind of tend to agree with Hank. He did bail on the Celtics, but maybe it was a higher calling for him to be with the Clippers at a time where they really, really needed his leadership. And really, he's really the only leader left in that organization. He really did a good job talking to the staff there that was really just hurt by the ugly comments. Continuing on, what teased me off, of course, Ken, is posters on the wall that you've got to look at for no reason. It's one thing for kids to have posters on the walls. For any adults to have posters on the wall, you've really got issues. And I really don't like looking at posters on the wall anywhere. Do you, Ken?
Does that mean I got to take mine down?
No.
I'm kidding. I don't have. Well, we have some Disney posters up. I'll put it that way. But as far as what you
I'm talking about in general when you work somewhere.
I got you. Yes, especially if they're egotistical and obnoxious.
Well, there you go. Of course. All right. Another thing that what teased me off, we're having a little fun here, is Ken flying back from Florida, having to hear a conversation. I mean, really, everybody's ears are popping. You're in a bad mood. Nobody likes to fly. I like traveling, but I don't want to hear your conversation right next door and how your Aunt Annie's brownies are the best.
You're a captive audience. You should respect each other since you are a captive audience. It's a shared misery when you're in that bus with wings. So you should respect the people around you. Now, if you're carrying on an amusing conversation, that might not be too bad. But if you're just talking some ridiculousness and just chatting away, that is obnoxious and unnecessary and uncalled for. Go back in the little bathroom back there and carry on your conversation.
And not to mention, too, Ken, another thing what teased me off is pay-per-view, Sonny, as well. Everybody wanted to see Mayweather fight, but guess what? It didn't happen until after midnight on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. That was a good fight from all accounts. I just saw 30 seconds of it or so during the highlights. But, yeah, it is really late. It's geared toward the West Coast and late-night audience. And, they can thank Muhammad Ali for that. If it hadn't been for him, there wouldn't be such a demand for pay-per-view.
Also want to thank our good friends at Southern Rustic Family Restaurant, Brandon Mines. Give them a call at 465-7700. Good, delicious home-cooked food at the Chesapeake Square Mall. Find them on Facebook. Southern Rustic Family Restaurant. Delicious food inside. Don't have to worry about the weather. 7 days a week with Brandon Mines at Southern Rustic Family Restaurant. Great place to bring the family for lunch and dinner. We're going to be talking to Rick Brennan a little bit later, of course, right here. As well to plug his show coming up, too. Sonny, thank you for joining us on Sports Scene today. All the best to you and the Daily Press and dailypress.com in the future.
Oh, thanks very much, Greg and Ken.
Always a pleasure.
Good job, sir.
All right, we'll take a short break, come back with our business spotlights after this. Mark your calendar for May 29th to June 1st as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Enjoy authentic Greek food, desserts, beverages, Greek dancing, entertainment, arts and crafts, vendors, and much more. The Newport News Greek Festival is located on 60 Traverse Road, off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more information, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you at the Newport News Greek Festival, May 29th to June 1st.
Be seeking rare and valuable coins? Storm the Castle, matey. Newcastle Coins and Collectibles in Chesapeake, that is. Silver and gold coins, U.S. coins with free verbal offers, and they always be on the lookout for those rare U.S. coins. Set sail for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles, 681 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake, across from Chesapeake General, Tuesday through Saturday, and always online at newcastlecollectibles.com. Call 757-609-3633, 757-609-3633 for Newcastle Coins and Collectibles.
Spring is back, and so are the Norfolk Tides. Catch the fun and excitement as your Norfolk Tides take the field at beautiful Harbor Park. Bring your friends and family to root on the Orioles of tomorrow, today. Log on to norfolktides.com for more information on season tickets, groups, ticket discounts, and Tides merchandise. And don't forget to follow the Tides on Twitter and Facebook for up-to-date promotions and team information. Tides Baseball, minor leagues, major fun.
Old Town Tavern in the heart of Phoebus is your place for a great lunch and dinner. A local place in every sense of the word, specializing in fresh seafood, burgers in a basket, crab cakes, salads, appetizers, and much, much more. Open 7 days a week, Old Town Tavern has live music, pool tables, darts, HD TVs, in a spacious and pleasant atmosphere. They have daily lunch specials, live music, and entertainment. Find Old Town Tavern on Facebook and visit them at 31 East Mellon Street in the Phoebus section of Hampton, with plenty of great parking in the back. Call 251-2636. That's 251-2636. Serving seafood, sandwiches, salads, wings. You can't beat Old Town Tavern. Bringing good food and great people together in the Old Town of Phoebus. Old Town Tavern in Phoebus, the locals' choice.
Your family and their safety are your number one priority. Your homestead and your business and quality of life can give you peace of mind, but there are some bad hombres out there. Keep it all safe with the proper firearms and ammo from Battlefield Guns and Ammo. You can't take anything for granted, whether you're at the ranch or out on the trail. Call 757-410-7720. Log on to battlefield-guns.com and visit Battlefield Guns and Ammo at 240 North Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake.
And welcome back right here to Sports Scene, News Talk 1650, an eventful hour nonetheless, of course, right here every time you do live and local. Right here, Greg Bicoveris. For more on my background, go to gjbtv.com. Go to the Marketplace sponsors. Great sponsors are Marketplace 1, 2, and 3. Going to plug his show as well. You hear him from 12 to 3 every day except Wednesday. He's on 1 to 3. Weekdays, Rick Brennan, of course, his great program, Remnant Radio. Rick, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, talking to the mic right there on the radio, of course, and talk about what exactly is Remnant Radio.
Remnant Radio was an idea that was thought of with a certain amount of people about how we would get the Word of God out into the public rather than using Christian radio or Christian talk. And we came to this station, and they thought it would be a good idea, and they brought us on now.
And, of course, the website?
The website is remnant-radio.org.
I really like when you guys talk about the health and nutrition and the medicine, too, because so much is about diabetes and cholesterol these days. It really, gives people like a chance to lower their diabetes by walking, watching their weight, cutting out sugar or bread. And you guys sometimes talk about that.
Now, we talk a lot about health. It seems to be, it It's the right arm of our religion is health, because the body is what was given to us by God, and we should look after it. And diabetes and heart disease and cancer are the main diseases, and we talk a lot about them.
And, of course, you can find out his link on my website, gjbtv.com. You'll see him as well on the Marketplace Sponsors page. You'll find Remnant Radio. It really has evolved over the years.
Yes, it has. And evolving still, again, we'd like to expand into other markets and keep the drive going and give the word of God to everybody that would like to listen to it.
And tell us when the show is.
The show is on Monday to Friday, noon to 3, Monday and Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays, 1 to 3 on Wednesdays, and Saturday, 10 a.m.
Right here, Greg Bicoveris. This is Sports Scene. Of course, Ken Johnson, who we have on the air with us, of course. Rick, thank you so much as well, and all the best to you and the Remnant Radio family. Continued success, and thank you for all that you do in the radio community.
Thank you, Greg.
All right. You can go to gjbtv.com. You can see the link on Marketplace Sponsors. All right, let's welcome our next business spotlight, Patricia Brackett from Chick-fil-A out in Edinboro. How are you, Patty?
I'm doing great. How about you, Greg?
Good. What's first of all, tell us your location. You're way out in Chesapeake.
Yes, we are. We are at 205 Carmichael Way, Chesapeake, Virginia. The zip code is 23322. Our store number is 421-3586.
And, of course, you're on Facebook as well, right?
We are. We also have our website. Our webpage is at www.chickfila.com, Edinburgh Commons. And you can like us on Facebook at Chick-fil-A at Edinburgh Commons. We do a lot of free giveaways on the page, and we have a lot of contests. So we just hope that everybody will check us out.
And what's going on in the month of May?
Oh, the month of May, we have a lot of exciting things going on. We have a Mommy-Son Date Night, which is May the 10th from 6 to 8. On May the 16th, we're super excited. We have our car show, and that's from 6 to 8 p.m. as well. And then one of our favorite events we have that we try to really reach out to the community for is our Cody Childers Spirit Day. And all the proceeds of that day go to help prepare packages to all of our troops over in Afghanistan.
That's really great. Really great story. I was coming back from Florida on Sunday and was sitting next to a trooper, a military trooper who was overseas for several months, going to see his family. And really, what you guys do for the military to make them smile is priceless.
Well, it's what we want to do. I tell you, Greg, we want to be more than just chicken. We want to reach out to the communities and to the military and schools and everybody we can to let people know that, you know, Chick-fil-A, we want to be set apart. We want to do more than just make a great chicken sandwich. We want to impact communities, and we just want to bless as many people as we can bless.
Now, also, you guys look out for the state troopers and also the local police officers, correct?
We certainly do. We try to make sure that anybody that comes in our store, we try to either bless them with their meal or give them half off, whatever we can do as far as that's concerned, to give back to them for the sacrifices that they make for us every day.
And also, too, Ken, special shout out to the Virginia State Police for saving that woman's life the other day. She obviously was distressed, Patty. She jumped off the bridge. The state police had to close the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. But those guys, the Virginia State Police, a lot of them are former military. They acted very bravely, and really kudos to the Virginia State Police.
I have a lot of friends on the state police.
That's
so
amazing. That was amazing. A very amazing story.
All right. Tell us, again, what's your address and your phone number, and talk about some of your menu items.
Okay. Our address, once again, is 205 Carmichael Way. We're in Chesapeake, Virginia, 23322. Our phone number is 421-3586. If you haven't came out and tried our new char grill sandwich, we have a new char grill machine, and it tastes fresh off the grill like you barbecued it in your backyard. It is absolutely delicious. So if you haven't came in to try that, you need to come in and give it a try. And we also have our feature milkshake, which is our peach shake, one of our favorite customer picks. So if you want to come on in, we'll have that for a limited time. You can come in and enjoy a nice peach milkshake to complement your meal.
And yeah, birthday parties for kids, too.
We absolutely do. You can call the store and you can set up an appointment with Mary McEntee. She is our birthday party consultant, and we have a lot of little different options you can do. So if you want to call the store and get details about that, we can help you with that as well.
Patty, I got to give you an A today. I won't call you Nicole, a little inside joke right there. Say hello to your sister Kim for me.
I will. Take care, Greg.
All right, Patty Brackett right there from Chick-fil-A. Got to have a little sense of humor, too. And, Ken, we're going to get to highlights here as well. in just a few moments right here on News Talk 1650 whenever KJ is ready at the dial.
It's now time for Greg's Highlights on Sports Scene, presented by GJBTV.com Marketplace Sponsors page.
I want to thank you to all our great guests today. Sonny Dirth, Patty Brackett, Rick Brennan, all right here on Sports Scene. Don't forget, we archive each show right there at GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for last week's show. We had Jimmy Laycock live right here exclusively on Sports Scene. Don't forget to shop on the Marketplace sponsors. See all of our over 24 sponsors right there. Our Marketplace sponsors 1, 2, and 3. Save the date each Wednesday from noon to 1 for Sports Scene right here. Also, save the date for a big event in Newport News, the Newport News Greek Festival.org, May 29th to June 1st. Of course, the NBA playoffs, NFL draft, Major League Baseball, all heating up right now going on as well. And Ken, when you talk about all the different topics as well going on in the world too, the local races yesterday were always exciting, but one thing really stood out was the low voter turnout. You couldn't ask for better weather, but it seems like Hampton Roads is having trouble grasping a May and November election.
Sad to say, and it's a shame. People will always complain about what's going on in their life. They wish this, they wish that. They don't like the government doing this, that, or whatever. But they won't get out to make the change for it. They won't make it. Takes in general, takes maybe 5 minutes to vote.
Yeah, and there were no lines yesterday.
Yeah, well, this isn't like 2012 or 2008. The local elections, there's no standing room only. There's no long line. It takes at the most 5 minutes, including parking and getting to and from the voting place, to vote. So if you're not going to go out and try to make a change, at least make your voice heard. You shouldn't be complaining about it.
And, of course, this is presented by the Egg Bistro, theeggbistro.com, and also Aunt Anne's Pretzels and Chesapeake Square Mall, also right there at Greenbrier. Theeggbistro.com, excellent place right there in Suffolk and Chesapeake. Also, Ken, too, you hope that the city council people don't run just for a part-time job. But it seems like some that did run recently, I'm not going to mention what city or name, have agendas, and that definitely seems agenda-driven because they're not bad part-time salaries.
No, they're not. And a lot of people will see the city council or even the county seat positions as a jumping seat to the next thing. They'll run for the state house, and then they see that as a jumping seat to the Congress, and hopefully they want to be president and king or whatever else. They got these aspirations, and they see that as the first step, and that's just not the way to go. If you don't have an honest desire to be like a Jeffersonian constitutionalist and wish to really represent the local people in your town and listen to what their gripes are and try to do the best thing for them, if that is not first and foremost in your mind, get out of the way and let somebody else do it.
Yeah, because some of the ones that did run, and I think that was their agenda, guess what? You lost, and you know who you are. Thank goodness. And I'm not going to say what city, because you have no idea what we're talking about. Well, like Ken said, we need more good, moral, ethical people. And now with the word Google, you can pretty much find anything, Ken.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you need to do some research. When you do go to the elections, do a little time and trouble, read the Daily Press. You can also read up on the candidates, find out where they stand. If you have a chance, go to the forums, talk to them, ask them questions. They're not, they're not superheroes or whatever. You can go up and talk to them, and you can usually sense somebody. Your spidey sense usually works pretty good. You can figure out whether somebody's telling you the truth or whether they're selling you a bill of goods, and ask them the pointed questions. Hold up their feet to the fire. Make sure they answer your question, not just say, "Well, I'll look into that." No, come on. You've got to have at least some idea of what the issue is.
Or certain politicians that say hello to you at the grocery store when they're having competition, but when there's no competition, oh, I didn't see you. Really? Well, I know who you are, too. Exactly. Of course, I want to thank all our great guests today, Sonny Dirth, Rick Brennan, also Patricia Brackett from Chick-fil-A out in Edinboro. Don't forget GJBTV.com. Hit the YouTube link for archive shows. Ken does a great job with Dropbox, puts it all on, makes it all happen. Thank you to TuneIn.com for streaming this show online, live and local. Thank you to Hank, all the great Twitter followers as well. Ron, I got over 1,028 on Facebook. Thank you for making this show a success. For more, log on to GJBTV.com. Credible Talk Radio. We cover all topics, like I told Rick and Sonny, not just sports, not just news, not just about pets, not just religion. We cover it all. Ken Johnson, always a pleasure. We'll talk to you next Wednesday from 12 to 1. For more, log on to GJBTV.com. I'm Greg Bicaveras. We'll talk to you soon.
Coming up on 1 o'clock, Remnant Radio is up next, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget Sports Scene every Wednesday, noon to 1, right here on K-Talk 1650 Remnant Radio, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, noon to 3. Coming up at 3 o'clock, Glenn Beck at 6, Mark Levin at 9, Dennis Prager. So good programming coming up. CBS News coming up at 3 o'clock as well. No major issues on the roads right now, just some things to make you aware of. They're doing some mobile lane closures here, there, and everywhere, Virginia Beach and Norfolk. So look out for the Air Orange trucks and the Aero trucks. We have a 5:15 scheduled opening for the James River Bridge today and 9 a.m. scheduled opening for the Comer Bridge tomorrow morning. Clearing skies, 68 degrees today. Increasing cloudiness tonight with a low of 61. Mostly sunny, warm. The sun returns, though, with a high of 85 degrees. And then partly cloudy skies for Friday and Saturday. Some showers on Sunday. Remnant Radio is next on AM 1650 WHKT in Portsmouth. It is 1 p.m.
Hi.